are. Here we are. And I am here making pizza for my parents as well as myself. I love to cook, as everyone knows, and I love to cook for my parents. So, I have already made some pizza dough, which is really easy. It's really easy to make pizza dough. And for my pizza dough, I keep it very simple. My pizza dough is 2 cups of flour, a packet of yeast, salt, olive oil. My mother has a KitchenAid, so I need it in the KitchenAid. Good evening, Mag. I'm cooking. I'm cooking. So let me show you my pizza dough because I started making this hours ago. Cooking with Hope, of course. And I'm cooking for my parents. And it's also because I love to eat well. And I learned a lot of this from my family. And one of the greatest things is my mother's kitchen is so well stocked. Thank you, Mag, for sharing the live. That's what's up. I appreciate it. So anything I need, my mother has it. Okay, you will start to understand why I can cook so well. When I went to divide my pizza dough, what's up, Mac? My mom actually she has everything. She has the KitchenAid. She has she has the piping for the cakes. You name it, it's here. So I can create anything. I mean, there's everything. There's everything in my mind. Boba straws. Okay? Metal boba straws. This is the perfect kitchen. So, I am going to roast some bell peppers. I love roasted bell peppers. Do you, LJH? I mean, you got to. So, as I said, the dough has already been made, and I'll show you the dough. So the dough I divided and it's rising, and it's just 2 cups of flour, a packet of yeast, salt, olive oil, warm water, blended in the KitchenAid, kneaded in the KitchenAid. I let it rise for about 2 hours, and then I punched it because you punch the dough, and I took the thing my mom has and I divided it into 4 sections because 4 of us are going to be eating tonight. I put it on here to rise again. So that is done. I also have already made garlic confit, which I love. I love garlic confit. So my mom will just go to the grocery store and bring me stuff, which I love. I took a bunch of garlic and coated it in some nice olive oil and put it in the oven at like 375 for about 40 to 50 minutes. So now I have the wonderful garlic oil as well as the softened garlic, which I'm going to use on my pizza. So I'm going to use the garlic confit, as well as caramelized onions. So after I do the bell peppers, we will caramelize some onions. I do not eat meat. However, I come from a meat-eating family, so they had already requested some pepperoni. My mom had requested some olives, which I have, and there's something else. I'm also gonna make the sauce because sauce is so easy to make. And so let's get started on the bell peppers. They buy this stuff and then they leave it in the bowl and then it's growing. And so I said, Mom, I'm going to roast these peppers. So very easy to roast peppers. I already have the oven on at 400 and you can use them whole or you can slice them. I'm just going to quarter them, coat them with a little oil, salt and pepper, and throw them in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. Then I turn on the broiler so they get nice and brown. And I love that flavor. So very quickly. I don't remove the seeds. I enjoy the seeds. I like the texture of the seeds. However, it's so easy. What's up, Tommy? To just core it and take it out. So that's what I'm going to do. And I've just sliced them into 4. So I have the oven at 400 degrees. I've quartered the bell peppers, put them in a bowl, and just coat them with a little oil and a little salt and pepper and put them in the oven, and you can forget about it. It's so easy to make roasted peppers. Now, peppers don't have much flavor to me. This is why I like to roast them, because it brings out a different element of flavor. So again, I only have 2 bell peppers. I put them into a bowl as such. I'm going to massage them. You may even get to see my wonderful mother walking in the background at some point. So then I just toss them like such. And because my mother and everyone likes to cook in my home, there is always, what's up, Cece? Good to see you. There is always a setting of kosher salt and black pepper ready to go, because you want to grab. You don't have to, we don't do that sprinkling. Ooh, let me not break this stuff. Because, thank you, Rita. I appreciate that. What's up, Marilyn? What's up, Maryland? Where are you at in Maryland, Britt? So you get a good healthy size. Let me show you. And I'm just sprinkling. I'm pretty liberal with the seasonings because I'd rather over season than under season. Rita, that's a very kind compliment. I appreciate it. Some nice coarse black pepper. And Charlestown, West Virginia. Okay. I lived in Alexandria for a little bit, and then I lived in the district. Oh snap, what in the wigless baldness is going on? A bunch of beauty and great food. That's what's going on. Bunch of beauty and great food. That's what's up. And you say wigless like that is a something that is spoken negatively of. I wouldn't wear a wig unless I'm in a photo shoot. However, thank you for that. Thank you, Mac. I appreciate that. So, peppers are done. I'm going to pop them in the oven for 400 degrees, about 20 minutes. Now, my favorite is caramelized onions. So caramelized onions are so easy to make. The only thing is they just take time, but I love the flavor of a caramelized onion. So I'm making pizza. So I've already made my dough. I did add salt and pepper, just regular kosher salt. I have coarse, you're welcome. I have coarse black pepper because I like to grab it and feel the amount of black pepper. So coarse black pepper, kosher salt, oil, any type of oil, put it on the bell pepper, roast them in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then I'll turn on the broiler to get them extra dark. In the meantime, now it's time for my favorite, caramelized onions. And I don't like throwing this away. I always have a, what is it called? What's that thing called? What is it called when you have that pile of disregarded fruits and vegetables and you put it into your garden? Remind me, because it's not coming to me, but I'm just going to start one of those. So, I have 2 great onions. Compost. Thank you, Stacy and Amelia and Back Pocket 62. Thank you. Caramelized compost pile. Thank you, user 805. So the easy. Thank you, the Joe 77 for telling me, because why not? I've had every hairstyle in the world, so let's try something different. That's why. So, with caramelized onions, the key to me is slicing them thin and just allowing time. There is nothing that's going to bring you the richness of a caramelized onion outside of just the time it takes to caramelize them. So, I will use both olive oil and a little butter because I like both fats. And plus the butter has that richness, it has a saltiness. And if you see the amount of butter in my mom's house, like she has at least 40 sticks of butter because she loves to bake. And what's up? I'm glad I ran into you too, Maya. I'm cooking. I love Martha. If you're talking about Martha Stewart, I grew up hearing my mom say, it's a good thing, because my mother loves Martha Stewart, as do I. Who does not want to be Martha Stewart in the kitchen? I'm making pizzas for my parents. So I already made the dough, the pizza dough. No, none of us don't. Come on now. I'm California through and through. Both of my parents, my mother's originally from California as well, as is my father. So people from all over the world and nation can cook. So, the best thing about caramelized onions is they make everything taste good. So anyone, all 236 people in the live, I'm making a pizza for my parents. I've already, thank you Perfume 2070. What's up Jazzy Tunnels? What's up? I've already made the dough. And the dough is the easiest thing because I know I have these wonderful arms, but I don't like to knead the dough. The greatest thing is my mother has in her favorite color the KitchenAid. So with the KitchenAid, I'm able to knead the dough. I'm gonna just put it here until it gets to the right texture. Thank you, I appreciate that. My diction is very important. So to make my pizza dough, all I use is all-purpose flour. Yes, well, butter makes everything taste good, and I'm all for it. But really, my mom probably has 80 sticks because she has at least 8,000 in the fridge, and then 20,000 in the freezer, and then another 1,000 in the freezer outside. So if anything happens, we always have butter. That's what matters. So as I said, the dough is just 2 cups. Exactly. We'll never run out of butter or soy sauce. There's like 10 bottles of soy sauce, which I love. This is why I like coming home and cooking, because there's always everything. However, I don't know why you need so much butter and bacon. There's like an abundance of bacon. It's just bacon in the freezer, in the fridge, on the, just everywhere. You can never have too much. So the dough is 2 cups of all-purpose flour, a packet of yeast, which is this. I just use this. Salt, you can add a little sugar, olive oil, and you knead it. I kneaded it in the KitchenAid, and then I let the dough rise for about 2.5 hours. And then my favorite part is like, you punch the dough, and I quartered it into 4. I put it on a baking sheet covered with plastic wrap to let it rise again, because anyone in my life, I don't know if you know, but I was a flight attendant for 15 years and I lived a great life. So we used to say, hey, you want to get a pizza? Let's fly to Milan for lunch. When I lived in London, and we would fly to Milan, or we would fly to Naples, or we would fly to Rome and have lunch and then fly back to London. And I've been to Italy several times, several hundred times, so I like to recreate what I ate there, which often isn't what you buy. It's often very simple, and the ingredients are delicious and high quality. So I will always choose to make it. What is my hope? To create love and laughter and some good food. Right, so with the onions, I'm just using white onions. You can use any onions. However, usually just yellow or white onions work fine. And I have a nice big pan that I'm gonna throw them in with butter and oil and let them caramelize for like, it takes a while. I already have some caramelized onions, but every week I make more caramelized onions because they taste great on sandwiches, they taste good in salads, they taste great on pizzas, they taste good. Caramelized onions taste great with everything. You can make just a dip with sour cream and caramelized onions, or if you're vegan, there's many things you can do, but caramelized onions are a fantastic staple. A baked onion, no, tell me about that as I start to slice the onion. Now, I do actually have a food processor. My mom has every gadget. So what's up, what's up, what's up? Aerodynamic, okay, I love that, I love that. So how do you make a baked onion? So I like to slice off both of the ends of the onion, and I'm gonna create a compost pile. My mom doesn't know, but I'm gonna create one in the backyard just so she knows. Oh, it's just a baked onion. Bye. Okay, that's easy. So after I start to caramelize the onions, I will start on the pizza sauce, which is really easy. Right, and I know it has health benefits if you just eat an onion. So, okay, I'm all for it. I choose to have them cooked. However, I love the fact that you can eat the onion like an apple. What's up, what's up? Nice to see you, Detroit Sean. Shout out to Detroit. How you feeling? Exactly, and there's a lot of sugars in the onion. So after this, I'm gonna make a simple sauce. Yes, it is, and that's okay. I love weird facts. Simple sauce with tomatoes. I actually have crushed tomatoes. I'm going to use crushed tomatoes, fresh garlic, salt, pepper, maybe some rosemary, and red pepper flakes, and blend that, and that's the tomato sauce. It's very simple, very simple. It does not need to be overly seasoned, and I don't like to cook the tomato sauce because it will cook when I cook the pizzas. However, you can. I also have some truffle oil. I love truffles, and when I used to fly, especially anywhere to Italy, the truffle oil is far better than whatever I've found in the US. And you can buy the delicious fresh truffles, and I love a truffle. It is an acquired taste, however, I love a truffle. So, as I'm speaking, our onions, I think, have been in our onions. Our bell peppers have been in the oven for maybe 10 minutes or so, I'm not sure. I just put stuff in the oven and then walk away. Don't always do that because sometimes you can burn the house down, and I haven't done that, but my sister did. She actually burned down the whole stove area and tried to throw flour. She was just gonna throw flour and run outside, and I thought that's not a great idea. It's giving KFC date night. I've never had a date with KFC, nor would I ever. And if someone suggested that, I would probably just hang up and go on about my day. KFC isn't a date, and I would know that we aren't, we aren't meant to be with each other if you suggest that as a date. So, I'm slicing my onions, and I will go ahead and turn my stove on because I don't like the stove to heat up. I prefer just to throw the onions in and they're good to go. So that's what I'm going to do. Let me get the abundance of butter and throw it in. You see, I just opened up the fridge and there's a random, what's that 1%? There's a random butter just without its clothes on, chilling on the side of the fridge. I told you, there's always butter in this house. I don't know where this butter's clothing is, but it's been declothed and it's just hanging out. So that's what it is. So I have sliced, I don't slice them super thin, but they're thin enough. And I love a caramelized onion. I also just love the smell of onion cooking, just like the smell of bread baking. I love it. It's one of my heartwarming scents, or as Martha Stewart would say, it's a good thing. So, one of these days, I'm gonna make just cheese, because fresh cheese is so easy to make. Do I hoop? I do everything, and I do everything well. Come on, Salvador Garcia. Thank you. Me too. It's the best synthetic wig that you can have. And Gabe, that's not even funny. That's it. So oil into the pan, as well as some butter. And it's not at all, but these men, listen, like, if it makes you feel good, great. It's just not that great of a response. So now I'm going to, I put oil and some butter into the pan. Medium high heat, and my onions are done. Of course, but he couldn't. He would only see me on TikTok. You're never going to be where I'm at. However, we just go on with life, don't we? So one onion is down, and I'm just going to throw this onion in to the pan as such. And I put a lot of butter for my caramelized onions. And so as that starts, I will cut the other onion. And my mom also requested olives, so I have some olives that I'm going to throw on there. And what else? I like a simple pizza. I really do. Margarita pizza is like my favorite. My favorite. Some fresh basil and some buffalo mozzarella. You know they can't. They love what they can't have. So thank you, Mac. But it is what it is. It's a gift and a curse, isn't it? Sometimes this bald head, people don't know what to do. And I understand. I get it. It's me. I get it. So, I actually like to save the peeling because you can make a seasoning out of the onion peel. You can just toast it and blend it. Oh gosh. Nothing is a horror story. I don't see my life as that. However, I have had near-death experiences on the plane. However, I've had... Flying is a dream. And I've always loved travel. My father introduced me to travel. My parents, we would travel as a family, oftentimes in like the premium cabins. And I would love when the flight attendants would come around in their outfits, and they just seemed like these regal people that were so well traveled, and knew the different cuts of meat and different vintages of wine, and had a lot of patience. So horror stories, I don't regard my 15-year career flying as anything horrific. My I did have an emergency landing, which shifted my life. However, I'd far more like to tell you about the lovely gentlemen that I met on the plane, or the people I met through traveling, and or the languages I learned everywhere. Everywhere. And I say this often. It's not one place that's beautiful. I can find something beautiful everywhere I go. Because it may not be the outdoors, it may be the beauty in the people. It may be the beauty in a restaurant I found. It may be a beauty of the train. There may be a beauty in the hotels we stayed in. There may be a beauty in a museum that I went to. However, I often say I'm the favorite because it's always within me. And I'm always looking for the beauty in everything, everywhere I go. So there's not one place exactly that is more beautiful than another. I often love warm weather destinations. So to hear me going skiing, I love the snow, but it's not something that I choose to do often. I would always go to warm weather destinations. One of my favorite destinations was Senegal, West Africa, where I would go sometimes several times a year, but there were several years that I would go to Dakar for my birthday because I loved it. I loved the sun. I loved the ocean. I loved the radiance and the people. I loved the kindness of the people. I loved the smell of the air. I loved the music that I would hear. I loved what I learned about myself. So that's one destination that always comes to mind. And I loved West Africa. I've been to several countries in West Africa. While I lived in London, one of my flatmates was half South African, half German. No, half South African, half Belgian. My other flatmate was half Nigerian, half German. And we lived together for almost 4 years, and there was so much that I learned about myself and identity. Everywhere is safe. I don't think about safety, Shmay. You would have to clarify that, because I don't step into anywhere fearing harm. I don't come in that way, and I don't fear that any harm would ever come towards me. So what's up, York? What's up? Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I never think of, is it safe? I'm safe. I walk with protection. I only carry good, respect, and love with me. So there's never a space I enter with fear in any part of my life. And I would love, I share that to say, to immediately think of the lack of safety, question why you feel that. Because in reality, the U.S. is not the safest place. However, I digress. I don't go anywhere with fear of harm to my body. And that may be a courageous act. What's up, CeeLo's Focus? Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a minute. I meet everything with respect and love. And there's nothing I fear. First of all, you gotta fear me. Do you see these arms? I'm a runner. Like, what's there to fear? Okay, you better fear me. I'm kidding. There's nothing that would... Okay, let me share this, because this is the difference in how I see the world. There is nothing that's ever coming to harm me. And I carry that. There is never harm for me. I don't even have it in my mind. Well, listen, Elliot Williams, people choose to show up how they want to. So if a woman chooses to wear her hair in her desired length, that's the beauty that she sees herself. So I appreciate the compliment, and I will offer a compliment can be just a compliment without taking the beauty from someone else's choice. So yes, I don't go anywhere with the expectation of harm, ever. I'm a great person. I come from a great foundation. Let me add this. And I'm going to turn these down because they started to brown already, which is okay. Sometimes I add more fat during the cooking because really when you caramelize onions, you want to do as least work as possible. You just let them caramelize. So I will let them do that. I'll turn the heat down and continue. Yeah, I don't go anywhere fearing any harm. That wouldn't come to me. And I've gotten myself in and out of many situations, so I know whatever may face me. Good to see you, Mac. Thank you for joining me. I am the solution. I have everything I need in the moment to solve anything that I encounter, and I'm confident that that is always the case. So let me add these and just let these caramelize. Okay, I just took out the bell pepper, so they're like this. Now I'm going to put the top on them so they will sweat, and then I can easily take off the skin. So the greatest thing is my mom usually has tops to everything. Yeah, I mean, there's no other way to live. And matter of fact, I was with someone who kept saying, you know, where's that car going? Did you see that car before? Is that car following us? I don't, again, look for harm. And I understand because of things that may have happened in life, we may try to protect ourselves from that. However, because I believe I have everything I need in the moment, I don't look for it, and I know that I can solve anything that comes my way. So let's finish with these onions, and then I'm going to start on the sauce. So where else are my favorite places? I loved Lisbon, Portugal. That's a place I would live. I really enjoyed Iceland and their social structure and their educational structure, their healthcare. I'm on live, so if you go past, I'm on live, Mom. I think Sam just got home.
No, Sammy just got home.
Okay, well, you do what you gotta do, Mom. I have not. Have you? North Africa is a place, I haven't been to many places in North Africa. Tunisia, no, I haven't. Because a lot of my friends were in West Africa, I would often just go to West Africa. Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria, Senegal, Mali, Bamako in Mali. Let me add more fat to my onions. Okay, so now that is done. Yeah, I am. The summertime, I always come home a couple times a year. I always told my mom, listen, Mom, I can't give you Thanksgiving because sometimes Thanksgiving falls on my birthday. And my mother loves the holidays, so she always decorates and she loves having her girls home. But I said I will always give you Christmas. And so every Christmas, with the exception of 1 year, so for 14 years I was always home for Christmas. And typically when I was a flight attendant, I would end my flying by the 20th, the 19th or 20th. I wouldn't like to be in the airport after that, because that's when travel really picks up. So I would complete my flying by the 19th, 20th, come home to California and be off for the rest of the month. I would always take off all of January and most of February and then come back to flying in March. So for several years, that's how I did. I would, especially when I lived in London, it's just too cold. I'm not going to stay there. When I lived on the East Coast, either DC or New York, it's too cold. Every New Yorker will say they love New York. They'll never tell you they love New York in February. It is too cold. So I would come to California, spend about a month with my family, and then spend a month somewhere in Mexico or spend a month somewhere on the island. I would just leave and recharge and set myself up for that next year. However, I love being home with my family, and now I'm seeing it's a different role reversal. I'm cooking for them, and I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. So, this is where we are with our caramelized onions. Our roasted red peppers are sweating, so I put a top. Me too. Listen, baby. So do I, Jazzy Tones. So do I. This is why I stay looking like this, because I'm not going to have it any other way. And I appreciate that. However, I also just like that I have a foundation that I like to come back to. I do enjoy seeing my parents. I do enjoy speaking to my parents. I do enjoy being at home with my folks. So, let's start on the sauce. Okay. Let me move this. So the sauce is going to be very simple. And so we have completed our pizza dough, which is rising. And it's been rising for several hours. This is the second rise. I have completed my garlic confit, which is just garlic, which has been, the skin has been removed, filled with olive oil, thrown in the oven, 375 for about 40 minutes to an hour. So that oil is so useful and delicious, as well as the garlic, which is creamy and spreadable. It's lovely. Then you see the caramelized onions are caramelizing. The roasted peppers now are sweating, and it'll be easy to remove the Your Mom, go ahead. She doesn't want to be seen. Okay, so then the skin can be removed. Now I'm going on to the sauce. And the sauce is very simple. Any tomato sauce, listen, if you over here buying Prego, stop. All you gotta do is get some tomatoes. All you gotta do is get some crushed tomatoes, okay? Put some salt, some pepper, some basil, olive oil, and garlic, and that's all you need. If you want some spice, throw some red pepper in there. But you don't need to be buying Prego all the time. You know how easy it is to make some sauce? Well, I'm about to show you. So, I am using crushed tomatoes because I like texture. I don't like my sauce to be smooth as me because I'm smooth. I like it to be a little bit I like it to, and what'd you get?
Just some salad.
Oh, okay. Do you want a tossed salad?
No.
Okay.
Then like a small.
A small. Okay.
But we want our pizza.
It's coming up, Mom. You see these people are, what am I, Domino's? You gotta wait. You gotta wait. Okay. So, the sauce. Very simple. Let me get, okay, so I'm using crushed tomato. You see why I have this air about me. My family is a joy, really. I'm using crushed tomatoes with basil. Yes. Say yes to everything. That's what she would, yeah, say yes to everything. That's what my mom would say. Definitely. Okay, so the sauce is just crushed tomatoes because, as I said, I like a little texture in my sauce. I don't like a smooth like me sauce. I like a little texture. So I will take the crushed tomatoes. Don't do that because like there's acid in tomatoes and you don't want that. Okay, simple. So tomatoes, boom. I love, as you know, a great pinch of pepper, and I often over season. A good pinch of kosher salt. Makes everything taste great. I'm going to take some of my garlic confit and add like 2 cloves of this roasted garlic to the tomatoes to have that roasted garlic, really smooth yet savory flavor added to the sauce. Sauce is very simple. Keep it simple. So I will just add 2, sometimes I add 3. I over add garlic because garlic confit, oh my gosh, it's so delicious. And even some of this oil from the garlic confit, you just drizzle it in so you have that delicious savory goodness from the garlic, which I love. So I'm gonna put a lot. This is gonna be like a roasted garlic sauce. So I put it in here. Now at this point, this already has basil. You can add basil, you can add oregano, you can add absolutely whatever you want. I keep it pretty simple. I like a little bit of spice, just a little, so I'm gonna add some red pepper flakes. Not too much, because my mom said, girl, you burned my mouth up. So I just add a little bit. And this is my sauce for the pizza. You can use this for a nice, easy, simple pasta. And then I'm just finding the garlic and mashing it so it's smooth into the sauce, because I like the sauce to be somewhat chunky, toothy, have some texture to it. So that's really it. I'll taste it. You can add sugar. Some people add sugar to their sauce. I like to just taste the tomato and keep it very, very simple. This is what I found whilst in Italy. Everything is simple. If you have great produce, you don't really need to do too much. So I'm grabbing the garlic and just smashing it like this into the sauce. because I don't want to, because I'm doing it like this. And it doesn't need to be sauteed. It's already been confit. It's roasted in the olive oil in the oven for about 40 minutes. So to saute it would kind of be overdoing it. I have already done garlic confit, so it basically cooked in fat in the oil in the oven for just under an hour. It's robust, it's savory, it's smooth. You can spread it on a cracker. However, no, that's why, because this is how I'm doing it. So simple sauce, and this is, oh, there it goes. Yeah, I like to add just a little bit more salt and pepper to taste. And you can cut it with some sugar. Oh, well, because I've already roasted it, Kay Del Tano. I've already made the garlic confit. So that is a great way of doing it. I'm just choosing not to do it this time that way. And I will just, with my caramelized onions, toss them around a little, but I will just allow them to continue to cook without doing too much. Okay. So how I do my, now I'm gonna try this, and I may finish it with a little truffle oil. I'm gonna add one more garlic because I love garlic. Why not? Why not? My mom always says I add too much, and I probably do. But who doesn't like the taste of garlic? Also, I like to keep it very simple. Sometimes these flavors to me are best savored simply. Best savored very simply. So the sauce, again, was just crushed tomatoes, salt, pepper. I used the garlic oil from my garlic confit, as well as about 4 garlic cloves that are garlic confit. They've been roasted in fat, stirred into the sauce with a little red pepper flakes. I don't, but I can. You're giving me some great ideas, Kay Del Tano. And tomato sauce is so simple. Here's the best thing. I recommend getting the best tomatoes you can get. I often don't like to use tinned tomatoes or canned tomatoes because a fresh tomato, the robustness of a fresh tomato, oh, it's just lovely. It's just lovely. All right, okay, so let's do a little sauce. I'll do a whole little thing. You know, I love being in the kitchen. So now I'm going to show you how I actually make the pizza, because my favorite pizzas are from Napoli, the very thin, bubbly pizzas. Not necessarily your Pizza Hut pizza. I like a very crisp bottom that's almost blackened with the crust. Sure, Kay Del Tano. Sure, absolutely. But we can do a cooking series because I'm home, so I'll be cooking all the time. Including bread, because now I'm on a bread kick and I love to cook bread. However, what's up, handsome? How you doing? Are you still banned? I did go to your page and I saw that you had got banned. What'd you do? So for my parents, they want a simple pizza with meat and black olives, which I have. I will just take those out now. I have some Parmigiano. I love okay, good. Basil, yes, yes, yes. That is correct. Brenda Williams says absolutely correct. Now, I already have Italian seasoning is typically what? Basil, oregano, marjoram, and maybe some thyme and garlic. I usually choose one or two. However, I keep it very simple. And I do appreciate that because both. Ideally, I love fresh. I love fresh rosemary. I picked some just the other day. I love fresh oregano. I love all of it. Yes. I'm glad it was an error. I hope you submitted that because that can easily be retracted. And herbs, I'm in California, grow all over the place. I was taking a walk and I just started picking herbs and putting them in my pocket. And then you can just dry them or put them in the microwave for 10 or 15 seconds and they dry out. So either or. Seasoning is seasoning. Once you know how you want it to taste, I don't think fresh or dry really matters. Once you understand that, then you can say, okay, let me compare dried oregano or the seasoning oregano to a fresh oregano or oregano that I picked and then dehydrated. It's alchemy. Cooking is alchemy. So I don't believe there's a right or wrong way. I believe always create something. Just make it taste good. And over season. I always love an over seasoned anything because under seasoned is that you're lacking something. We don't like lacking. So I have the pepperoni for my parents. I have this for me. And yes, thank you. Right, so I roasted the peppers and then I leave this on so they can sweat. So then it's really easy just to take off the skin if you would like. I like the taste of the skin, but when you let them sweat, they get really soft. And I often will put them under the broiler to get that charred taste and look. I'm actually not simmering this sauce. I prefer not to. Now, for my pasta sauce, I do. For my pizza sauce, I don't. For my pizza sauce, I do not cook it. This is kind of a maybe shorter time duration. However, when it's cooking in the oven and it's such a thin layer, it does change the flavor, the complexity. So I don't simmer my sauce, at least this sauce. I have another sauce which I will come on and make. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Let me check on my onions. That takes a little bit more time. And that's why I say, like, you choose how you want to make it. My pasta sauces tend to be a bit more complex, but for this simple pizza sauce, and these are my caramelized onions, which are caramelizing very nicely. Side note, I don't season. I definitely don't put any salt in my caramelized onions until maybe the end. I just let them cook down. My pasta sauce, I don't know. I would have to, maybe 30 minutes. I don't know. I just cook. I've always watched my mom and my grandmothers. I would have to do it. I'll do it here on live because I consciously just know when it's done and I taste it. If I'm hungry, I'm going to eat it then. I'm not going to say must simmer for an hour. I know it tastes great. So I don't think there's a wrong or right time. Cooking will change the complexity of the flavors. So with that, I don't know. All I know is it tastes good, okay? K Deltano, it'll taste good. And I bet your food tastes good. It don't take that much. I just know it'll taste good, okay? How can it not? So let me get, because I'm done with everything, I'm going to show you my dough. I know. I'm going to add you, and then tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow, let's do more sauces, and, ooh, I'll make something else. There's always something to make. So, these are my pizza doughs. So again, this dough has been it's been born. It was born maybe 5-6 hours ago. I still have the oven on. Let me turn off the oven. Okay, so the easiest thing with the pizza dough. Again, with pizza dough, it's so simple to make. This pizza dough, which I made a few hours ago, is 2 cups of flour, just a package of yeast, salt. I'm everything by trade. I'm everything, Kate Deltana. I'm everything. What you need? I'm everything, okay? No. But yes. In about 10 years, I'll go to culinary school. However, I know a lot, and I know it tastes good. That's all you need. I don't need somebody to say I'm a chef. I just need somebody to say the food tastes good, and it tastes good. So, 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I put a little garlic powder into this. Salt, warm water. Kneaded it with the KitchenAid, and it sure does. Kneaded it with the KitchenAid. Then I sprinkled it with olive oil, and I let it rise for about 2 hours. Then you go and you punch the dough, and I quartered it into these 4, and it's been sitting for another 2 hours. So, let me show you how I make my pizzas delicious. I like to actually make them in the frying pan. So the bottom, the crust gets really crispy and delicious. And then I put them under the broiler. So this is the best way for me to get that wood oven look, feel, and texture. So let's get on with it. And I have to get my mom's olives ready. So I have some olives here, which I will chop up. Just regular black olives. And I know my mom has one of the rolling trays. She has everything. That's okay. I'll use this. So, I will take one of the doughs, take some flour, and I'm going to roll this out and then put it actually in this pan. Okay, so this is how we'll do this. I sprinkle a little flour. I'll show you here. Onto this surface. The first pizza will be probably my dad's. Okay? Let me find the rolling pin. I'm doing it right now. Right now, right now, right now. There we are. It's on the rolling pin. Okay, thank you, K. Deltano. Yes. Okay. So we have our floured surface. Okay. And you see it's nice and bubbly. I'm going to put a little bit more. What's up, Andrea? Okay, so I think this will have to be my pizza because it's doing something. I'll try to stretch it out because I do like that really thin. Rotate the rolling pin. What do you mean, like this? Is this correct? There we go. There we go. My nice thin rolling pin. Now, what's up, Tri Pearls? Thank you, Mr. Brogan. Now I'm going to take you over here so we can actually watch the cooking process. Boom. Okay. So, what I will do is just a little bit of oil, not too much. And I'm actually going to throw the whole thing right into the pan, and this will create a really crispy pizza. I'm just okay. So while it's there, I actually have it on a higher heat. I will dress my pizza. Okay. Now, this one's actually going to be for my mom because she said turn the heat down one notch. Why? No, I don't want to. One notch. I did that for you. Okay. So this one's from my mom. mom said she wanted olives. And pepperoni. So I will put a few olives, pepperoni, and once it starts to bubble up, then I put it under the broiler. Okay. And some of that roasted bell pepper. Some fresh. What's up, Counselor Cat Mom? Yes, I'm making this for my parents, actually. I am. Good to see you again. I'm going to finish with a little Parmesan. And of course, salt and pepper. And that will be it. So I am going to let that bubble up a little bit. My caramelized onions are doing well. And in just a moment, I will throw this under the broiler. So as soon as okay, because you said it, I'm going to put it in the trash. That's ridiculous. That's fine. It's a Hope style pizza. And it is California style because I'm in California. I will now put this under the broiler. And recognize that, thank you, that this is my creation. This is my creation. I don't care. I don't care. Do you understand that I don't care? Why do I need to care about what you think? And furthermore, I did do the dough myself. Yeah, I just don't care how you view whatever I make. It doesn't make any sense to me. I did do the dough myself. Let me grab one thing. So now it looks very nice, and I'll put it under the broiler and it'll be done. Yeah, that's very easy to do. It's really easy to do, to make dough. It's just flour and water and yeast, and it's very simple. However, let me clarify this. This is an act of love. I love to cook, and I love to cook for my family. I love my parents. So, when an individual chooses to form words into a sentence that is not uplifting, loving, kind, enriching, and passionate, it does not permeate me. For someone to cook is an act of love. For someone to cook for their parents is an act of love. So anything outside of that is not love. Therefore, it's not something that I actually intellectualize. Understand that. Okay, so finally, the pizza gets really golden brown from being like in under the broiler, which is how I like. I don't care to have the thick crust similar to like Pizza Hut or something of this nature. So this is how I make it. And then you've seen me make every part of this, from the dough with the exception of the cheese and the tomatoes, from the sauce, the roasted red peppers, all of these things. This really comes from love. And I will repeat this. The moment that anything is spoken to this creation that is not of love, it does not matter. What matters is when my parents say, "Thank you, girl. I appreciate it." Anything outside of that can kick rocks. So, now, I'm just going to make sure the crust gets really, really brown. And it's going to be delicious. It's not done yet. It's not done yet. And then I have to do my father's, and then I'll do mine. In fact, I'll probably give this one to my dad first. And then, yeah, it's all with love. And make a small side salad. But this is all acts of love. Even me speaking is an act of love. And when I share that when I see nothing, I say nothing, or anything that is not of love and positivity, it's just not for me. It's not. Okay. So now I will show you. This is the finished thing, and I will finish it off with a little it's just noise, and it's not even beautiful noise. I will finish it off maybe with a little truffle oil. Thank you. They would probably say, I hope they would say the same. All right. So this is the nice finished pizza, and also if you could see the bottom, it's like kind of browned and blackened and crispy. So you can call me Hope Pizzeria, okay? Hope Pizzeria. You can watch the final cut. Mom, your pizza is ready. Well, Dad's is coming right up. This is yours. So there's pepperoni. There's olives. Give Dad a little. Here, you take it, girl.
Now, where is his?
It's coming up. They're all fresh to order.
Mm.
Okay? Taste it and tell me how.
It's hot.
It is hot. Just like me.
And me.
Okay, yes, Mom.
Now, what's that?
Mom, I'm gonna. Those are my caramelized onions. You know I have to have my caramelized onions.
Okay.
So, yes, that's what you call it. That's wonderful. Dad, what would you like to drink?
I've got some lemonade.
Okay. All right. Your pizza's coming up. So, y'all got a little glimpse of my mother. And she just took her pizza to the back. Your pizza's coming up right now, Dad. Pepperoni, olives, and the roasted bell pepper, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, orders up. I am, however, I'm just Dauda. You can take out that good. Just Dauda. Because good and bad. What do you think?
No, cheese on my...
There's cheese and there's Parmesan, girl.
Okay, girl. Well, just keep your shirt on. That's the question. And you jumped out the window.
I sure did. I've been making this with my hands of love. A glove of love. Did you taste it?
Yeah, it was hot.
Okay, you see.
It was hot. It burned my tongue.
It came right out of the oven.
Okay, Alicia.
All right, so I'm gonna go now because I have to be able to serve these people and then go for my sexy walk. I'll come back on live while I go for my walk. Why not? We'll talk then. So you've seen Pizzeria Esperanza, or in Italian, yeah, I think it's Esperanza. I think it's Esperanza. Esperanza. I think so. Because it's so similar. You are welcome. Because you see, my mom just took it and said, it's too hot. This is... I love them. So I'm going to prepare this for my father. And then I'm going to prepare mine with my caramelized onions. Which are just about... What? But how is the flavor? You keep telling me how it's
Good, but I need a little bit more cheese.
okay. Then take the cheese.
And the caramelized onion.
I love my caramelized onions.
I may come back and get some.
Lord, okay. Well, I'm glad you like it. I'm gonna make this for Dad. I'm giving Dad his right now. I got to go. Be the reflection of love. What's up, James? I'm here with my parents. I'm cooking for my parents, and my dad's gonna say, I'm hungry. So, be the reflection of love because you come from infinite sources of love. Show up like I did in the kitchen, making everything for these wonderful people I call my parents. Show up and make it look good when you show up. And eat some good food. Quit eating this unseasoned, non-good food. If you're gonna eat something, make it taste delicious. You see how happy I am? Because I'm eating good food all the time with these good people. And if they make me upset, I go outside and I sit in the grass. Make it work for you, okay? And I will be back, but my mom's gonna come by and say something, so I have to go. I love y'all. I will see y'all later.
I love you.
Goodbye.